Welcome to another edition of How to Fix It Yourself with Dave and Dave. Today we're working on this truck. We've worked on it a few times. Right now we seem to have a battery issue. So Dave went out to try and take a load to the dump, and he tried to start the car, and guess what? It wouldn't start. There was nothing there. It wouldn't even click or buzz. So we know we have some kind of a battery problem. We may have other issues as well, but we'll get into that and diagnose the whole thing. So let's go ahead and get started into the diagnostics. Dave's already tried to start it on camera, and it was basically dead. There was nothing there. So let's start off with a simple test that most people can do. I've got a very fancy multimeter we're going to use. You don't need to have anything quite that fancy, a cheapy one from the Home Depot or you know, Ace Hardware, someplace like that. Even the cheapy ones they have at the auto stores, those will work just fine. So let's go ahead and start taking some readings and see where we're at. We've got the multimeter set up here. I'm going to just take a voltage reading off of the battery and just kind of see where we're at voltage wise. So we're just going to take and hit both of them. You'll see that we've got 7.5 volts. That's way too low to ignite the starter. If it's up around 9 or 10 volts, which is still low, the starter may go, or it may just click and buzz at that point. But at this point, with 7.5 volts, you're not going to get much of anything. So we're going to have to do a couple of things. One is we have to decide whether we want to replace the battery or whether we want to try and recharge the battery and see if we can keep some life out of it. So Dave is going to go try and start the car. This is kind of a cheapy draw test to see how much reserve is left in the battery, even though we know it's very low. So when he tries to start the car, you notice it drops down to, go ahead and start it, Dave.
I tried.
Go ahead and do it again. So you notice it drops down to 6.5 volts, or even 6 volts. This dropped quite a bit, so it dropped almost 1.5 volts at one point. So there's not a lot of reserve left in this battery, but we don't know whether that's just because the battery is low or because the battery's gone bad yet, but at least we have a data point that we can go with. Now this battery has sat for a long time, and that's always bad for a battery, especially in heat. So, you know, that'll take a battery down. So we're going to do a few things here to see if we can figure out where this battery is and what we need to do next. So a lot of you are probably saying, well, why don't you just get one of those battery boosters and get it started? Because a lot of the battery boosters, if it has a little bit of voltage, will go ahead and get it enough to where it will start the battery. You know, if you're caught at the side of the road and for some reason you turn the engine off and you can't get it started, it's a great way to try and get it going again because you know that the battery has been working. But my problem with these isn't that they're not effective, it's that they're a battery as well. So they deteriorate whether you use them or not. And where most of us don't use these things on a daily basis or even a weekly basis, the chances of the battery inside here being good 2 or 3 years, 4 years down the road when you actually need it is probably pretty slim. And most of us aren't real good about keeping things like this charged so that it refreshes the battery. But they do have the same deterioration that your regular car battery has. If you've got a battery that's weak enough to where you're always using this thing several times a week to get your car running, you really need to do something about the battery. You don't need to be relying on this. It's a great short-term issue if you've got a battery that's weak, that you know you're going to replace soon. This can be a great stopgap measure, but it's not really the way you want to go long-term. So long-term, if you're going to get chargers for your battery or battery maintenance, battery maintainers, you really want something you can plug in so you don't have to worry about the battery being bad when you try and use it. So we're going to use a battery charger maintainer to kind of get started on this battery, and it's a plug-in so that 5 years down the road I don't have to worry about whether I can plug it in again and still get it to work properly. So this is the charger maintainer, the DeWalt that we're going to use on this particular car. I like this one. It has a lot of features and functions and capabilities. It will be a charger starting off at 30 amps on a really weak battery, and then it'll downplay automatically as the battery gets more charged. It also has a start function, and it also has an alternator check function on it. But it'll also diagnose the battery when you first hook it up. And that's what we're going to look for at this point, is to see whether it thinks the battery is good or bad, and that'll help us decide what our next step is going to be. So the first thing we're going to do is connect this and start it as a charger rather than as a battery starter. Now, one thing I want to mention is you want to look at the size of the cables that are connected to your charger maintainer. If they're fairly heavy duty like this, you know that you really can't start the car with this, even though it has a start function on it. We'll talk about how the start function works. If you want to just slap something on there and immediately try and start the car, you've got to have something with very thick cables, because if you look at the cables in the car, they're really heavy duty, and these are not as heavy duty as those. And that's because they have a high amp draw that they've got to be able to handle. So this is a charger maintainer, and it will start the battery, but it does it in a very specific way. And most of your electric battery maintainers that have a start function on it work exactly the same way. They're not there to slap the connectors on the battery and immediately try and start the car. So just a warning on that, so you're aware. Okay, so we've just connected the connections to the battery. There's some discussion as to how to properly do the negative. Some people say you want to be sure and do it on some other spot on the chassis. If you're doing a jump start, I agree with that. For a charge or a maintainer, you don't need to do that. Other people will tell you that you need to pull the clamps off of the battery, and so you're hooking directly to the battery and there's no draw back into the electrical system. For what we're accomplishing today, that's not necessary either, but it is something you can do. If you're using a battery as a maintainer, you want to leave it connected to the car, because you need to have the electrical, especially on the newer cars, you need to have those be able to function properly. We got the battery charger running. It's showing that it's charging the battery. It's charging at 15 volts, or 15 amps, excuse me. This will go up to 30 amps, and so it's about half duty cycle right now, and it's kind of seeking a little bit, trying to determine what the capability of the battery is. So right now it's running at 14.2. It's showing that it's 99% efficient in terms of trying to get the battery charged. So that's a good indication that the battery is probably salvageable at this point. So we need to let this run for a little while and see where it gets to, and then we'll kind of go from there. So just to run through a few items on here, you'll notice the battery charge indicator is working nicely and showing that the battery is actually taking the charge. As the battery accepts charge, the charge current will go up as it reconditions the battery. So where before it was like at 17 amps, it's now up at 26 amps, and so it's taking the charge better. If we press the button, it'll show that it's charging at 14 volts, which is a good voltage to charge batteries at. That's typically around the voltage that an alternator will put out. And then you'll notice that it says that it's at about 94% on the battery. So even though this isn't needed at this point, I think what we're going to do is demonstrate how the engine start works. So what we're going to do, how the engine start works, is it supercharges the battery for 60 seconds. So it puts a real high charge into the battery to try and boost the battery real quickly. It's not great for the battery, but at least it gets a good charge in the battery so that the battery itself can charge the car or can start the car. So we're going to go ahead and do a battery engine start here, and you'll notice that it resets itself. Okay, so it's not going to do the battery start because it's already taken too much of a it's already taken too much of a charge to where it doesn't need to do the battery start. So let's go ahead and shut this thing off and see where we're at in terms of actually being able to start the car. It's not fully charged yet, but let's go ahead and turn it off. And let's go ahead and check the voltage. So with the charger off, let's go ahead and check to see what the voltage is on this. And we'll go ahead and disconnect one of the lugs there. Oops. So you'll notice that we're now, if you can read that, we're now at 12 volts. And so that's a good voltage to be able to start the car. So let's go ahead and start the car, and then we'll finish charging the battery. Now, so while we're talking about this, first of all, the battery charger was only on there for about 15 or 20 minutes. It wasn't on there for a very long time. The way the battery start works is if it's really low, is for 60 seconds it'll put in a really high voltage, high amps, and try and get a real boost into the battery quickly so as that the battery itself will try and start the car. Because the battery was already so full, it wouldn't go into start mode. So this isn't an intelligent starter. It doesn't just automatically do what button you press. It checks all the rest of everything to make sure that it's the right thing to do. So at this point we can start the car. The alternator will kick in, but alternators are not designed to charge batteries when they're real low. They're more of a battery maintainer. So yeah, if you drive the car, if the battery's low and you drive the car for a couple of hours, it'll kind of charge up the battery. But you're always going to be safer and have a better result and have a more satisfactory result if you use a battery charger if your battery's low. So always default to a battery charger if you have a low battery. So we're going to go ahead and start the car at this point and make sure it starts right up. Then we'll go ahead and wrap up the video, and then we'll put the battery charger back on and let it finish charging up the battery so that it's full. Yep. So what that tells us is that there's no reserve capacity in this battery. So now that we're not trying to start it, it's gone down from 12.5 volts down to 11.5 volts. So it's already dropped the whole voltage just sitting. So it doesn't have any reserve capacity. And the fact that it would only try and start 3 times was not a good sign. Now, because it hasn't been started for a while, it's going to take a little bit to get it started. So we can do one of two things. We can try and show the battery start capability on this. If it'll kick in, it still has high enough voltage to where it may not kick in. But we can try doing the battery start mode. But the reality is that what that's telling us is that the battery has now lost its reserve capacity, so the battery is now weak and probably needs to be replaced. Okay, so you see it's now gone into battery start mode. So it's doing the countdown on the battery because the battery is low enough to where it would do a battery start. So it's going to count down for 60 seconds while it dumps high current and high voltage into the battery to try and get it recouped enough to start. When it hits 0, then we'll start the car again. All right. Okay. So you notice that it got enough into the battery to where we could get another 3 efforts to start the car. And so clearly the battery needs to be replaced at this point. It just doesn't have enough current to get the car started. So after diagnosing the battery and being sure that the battery was actually bad, we went ahead and replaced the battery. And now you can see that the truck runs, sounds good, starts right up. And so we've definitely diagnosed the problem properly. And we now want to wrap up. Tell you thank you very much for watching. Please hit the subscribe and the notification bell so you can get future videos. And be sure and like this video.